we're continuing on no body idolatry, taking this particular teaching from Ezekiel, the 23rd chapter. We're right along now at verse 6, reading through there. They were all attractive. It was two girls, Aholibah, and Aholah. Yes. And they were basically the present day Instagram model, stripper, whatever you want to call them, give themselves to whoredoms and so forth. So I'll kind of give you a little backlog. So let's continue on reading. They were all attractive young men. These are the men that they dealt with. Attractive young men, captains and commanders. Basically, let's bring to present day, they were like the groupies. You know, they want to hang out with the celebrities. They want to hang out with the rappers. They want to hang out with the singers. They want to hang out with the who's who, whatever the case may be. All right? Commanders dressed in handsome blue. Charioteers driving their horses. So those who were driving nice cars, you know, Magbachs and, you know, the Mercedes and, you know, all that, all the top of the line cars and so forth. Okay? There's the Bentleys and all that. That's who they were messing with. Okay? And so she prostituted herself with the most desirable men of Assyria, right? Okay? So she was known like the girl known as Superhead. She was like that. Okay? Worshipping their idols and defiling herself. See, when you worship those things, women, when you're out here and you know, so I'm not like that. Yes, you are, because you want to ask what the man does and all this kind of stuff. You know, you don't want him to be your husband. You just want to mess with him. You want to see what you can get it from him. You know, I don't know, a few handbags, pay some bills. I mean, it's just it's so terrible that you would just give up of yourself over and over again because you worship the idols that they worship. You know, they worship money. You worship money because you do it all for money. You do it all for money. You do it all because you want to be known as the it girl, whatever the case may be. And they're just pretty much using you up. Okay. You know, there's lots of beautiful women out here and they just sleep with them and just throw you off to the side. So that's what these men were doing. You know, we're at verse 8 now. Ezekiel 23 verse 8. For when she left Egypt, she did not leave her spirit of prostitution behind. See, okay, now she left Egypt now, okay? That's where she started at. But she went to another place. That's like someone has that spirit and he moved to another state where no one probably doesn't know them, but they still cannot get free of that spirit, all right? That's why people need deliverance. That's why I'm bringing forth this message, because women need to be delivered of body idolatry and men as well, worshiping their bodies. I told you in the present day, the butt is the new face in 2023. You know, nobody's looking at the actual physical face. They're looking at how big your butt is, you know, how big are your breasts, you know, how big are your lips. I mean, all this kind of stuff, all this plastic surgery. Women are literally going up on a knife, risking their lives to be this fictional body image, this body, you know, this way they should think they should look, you know, and still no husband. It's absolutely ridiculous. This is so sad and need total deliverance. So I'm calling it out first, okay? And then let you know where this came from. There's nothing new under the sun. You think it's something new that they're doing, getting plastic surgery and all this stuff. And, you know, they said it's going to be in the last days, and we're already here. There's going to be, 7 women to 1 man. Yes, you know, that's why the people are the 9, the side chick. That's all the mistress and so forth. And women are compromising and they're being okay with it. Well, he does this for me. He does it. I know he's married, but I mean, just have no self-worth, no morals. I mean, just horrible. You're going to answer to God. You're going to answer to God. And I'm going to go on and let you see it's a lot of things going on. It's still nothing new under the sun. I'm showing you by the word of God. The same thing. Okay. The spirit of whoredoms, body idolatry. She was still as lewd as in her youth, because she was a little fast girl. You know how they call it? They say, oh, she was fast. That little fast heifer, you know, okay, you know, forgive me for saying that. Okay. When the Egyptians slept with her, fondled her breast, and used her as a prostitute. All right. So basically, men, they just went through her. Okay. And so I handed her over to her Assyrian lovers, whom she desired so much. See, she desired this. All right. Well, you know, you feel sorry for the women, but they desire that. That's in there. They need to be delivered. They need to be delivered. They want to be known that they're the girlfriend, and they're not even a girlfriend of some celebrity or some rapper or whatever the case may be, some, you know, who's who or whatever. They stripped her, took away her children as their slaves. See, that's if we're going to bring it to present day 2023, children, she was an unfit mother. All right, so they had to go to DFACS. The state had to get involved, and she got her children taken away from her. That's right, because she wants to run the streets. You know, she doesn't even tending to her children that she had from these other men. All right, probably don't even know the fathers. All right, and they then killed her. After she received her punishment, her reputation was known to every woman in the land. Verse 11, yet even though Aholibah saw what had happened to Ahola, and that's her sister. Remember, she died, okay, in this whoredoms. Now, she saw how her sister's life was. You would think she would change, right? You say her sister, she followed right in her footsteps, just hard-headed. That's why you see generations of women. Their mama was basically, lived a very lewd lifestyle, we'll say that, caught up in whoredoms and baby daddies, different baby daddies, and, just fast, a street woman, okay? I can't put it any other way, want to party hardy, just, hey, dating a lot of different men, sleeping around with a lot of different men, okay? All right? And she was even more depraved. So she was even worse than her sister. Now, she saw how her sister's life ended in the streets, basically, and she still did the same thing. Do we not see that today? Do we not see it today? You would think the mothers would say, look, baby, I know I had you young at 15 or 16 years old. You're going the wrong way. That's how mothers should do, okay? Say, look, baby, I did that, been there, did that. The end is not good. I'm telling you. Settle down. Do not go to school, okay? You know what? Get your education, desire to be a wife, live holy unto God. Obey God. Well, you got to train them up. But see, by the time they're 16, 17 years old and you have neglected mothers, you have neglected your daughters. Yes. You thought you gave them everything because you gave them stuff. You gave them, a car early. You gave them a lot of clothes and just stuff, but you did not give them wisdom by the word of God of what a woman should be in her role, and helping her build a relationship with the Lord, and knowing that she doesn't whore out her body out to people, and trying to have validation from the streets, from guys that could care less about her. All right. She followed right after her footsteps. It's so sad. Abandoning herself to her lust and prostitution. She fawned over all the Assyrian officers. There she goes. She's still back in that same role. She goes, ooh, who is that? Ooh, who's that? Who is that? Who is that? Jesus? Who is that? Chris Brown? Who's that? Who's that? See? Those captains and commanders in handsome uniforms. Those charioteers driving their horses. All of them attractive young men. Oh, yeah, it's very attractive. The enemy knows what you like. He'll bring them real attractive. You know what? And it's just a setup. Just a setup to destroy your life, to kill, steal, and destroy, because that's all he does. All right? Like I said, this is part 2 of body idolatry. I'm taking my time in this because I think it is needed. So I'm sure we're going to have some more parts to it. All right? So we have a few, I think 30 more seconds on this. It's going to cut off, and then we're going to go to part 3, okay? I saw the way she was going, defiling herself just like her older sister, right? That's just what I just said, right? Verse 14. Then she carried her prostitution even further. What? How can you go even further, girl? What are you doing? My word. You know how to go even further. Now she's sleeping around me. Now she's stripping. Now she's escort service. Now she's doing all these lewd things. I mean, just partying all the time, traveling with guys. You don't even know who they are. Being subject to being raped and beat and just terrible things, waking up in hotel rooms. She don't even know where she was, smoking a hookah and doing all these ungodly things. It's so sad. She fell in love with pictures that were painted on a wall, pictures of Babylonian military officers. So she saw pictures, okay? They didn't have the television back then. So therefore, just like people, girls today, they slide into men's DMs because they see if they're celebrity or something, and they slide into their DMs, or they see them on Instagram, and they slide, like they say, into people's DMs, all right? Because they say she saw pictures of these men, military men, outfitted in striking red uniforms. She was lusting. Oh, man, she was like, oh, they look so beautiful. Oh, man, I want to be with him. Yes, that's what she was doing. Just like women, unfortunately, body idolatry are doing today. using their bodies. All right.